The box doesn't seem easy to burn. Doesn't it feel like a sacrifice?
In the roaring flames, Haichao seemed to feel the heat from over 3,000 years ago. He conducted this burning experiment to recreate the past of the wooden box unearthed in pit number 6.
When we discovered the box in pit number 6, what exactly was in the box, was the key question. Why was it in a charred state? In archaeological excavations, we can record all the phenomena we see in the most detailed way. But we still cannot see the scene at that time. The only way is to simulate the burning scene of that time.
The evening glow tinted the sky red. And the clouds were burning as well. The dancing flames illuminated the stern faces of the Sanxingdui people. In the scorching summer, there are as many sorrows of departure in the sky as there are desires for life on the ground. The departed turned into peaceful dreams, and those who remained would create a splendid grand dream. Reality remains fervent, and life continues to be brilliant. The most mysterious artifact unearthed from pit number 6, the wooden box, has been completely extracted and brought to the laboratory. Researchers started the cleaning work. Everyone hoped for some astonishing discoveries inside the wooden box.
To better understand the reason for the state of the box from pit number 6, the box was flipped 180 degrees and cleaned from the bottom up.
After extensive cleaning, researchers not only detected fibroin in the filling soil, but also found suspected cinnabar at the bottom of the box, along with a large amount of gray and black unidentified substances. These discoveries made the wooden box even more mysterious.
Now it's totally upside down. We've cleaned the bottom board, so we can see some patches of ash, which are very thin, and there's also cinnabar.
In places where there's no cinnabar, there's also no ash.
It seems to have been covered with a layer of red cloth. It would turn into ash immediately if it was exposed to fire, leaving no color at all, or it was painted on something after it was completed. What are your opinions?
Based on the conditions of the box, Haichao determined that there must have been burning at the burial site. But how did the Sanxingdui people burn it? How could such traces be left? This question deeply troubled Haichao.
What we need to solve is the cause of the box. So I think we'll do a series of burning experiments on wooden boxes. And that involves the design of the experiment.
It might have been carbonized externally and then placed inside.
Although it was burned and buried, it never truly disappeared. Time is like an eternal river with numerous hints. As the cleaning and research progressed, people were trying to piece together a vivid Sanxingdui kingdom from the fragments of history. The Sanxingdui Cultural Relics Protection and Restoration Hall has been quite busy recently. The cleaning of the unearthed cultural relics is very important, so they must be very careful and race against time. If unearthed cultural relics are exposed to air for a long time, and not cleaned in time, many valuable pieces of information may disappear forever. And secrets will remain secrets forever.
This is beyond my imagination. The wall is too thin. I thought it would be thick. But it was in fact very thin. We all say that you can't get ivory from a dog's mouth, but now we do. Yeah, ivory was pulled out of a dog's mouth.
Patience and meticulousness are the primary requirements of cleaning cultural relics. Cleaning cultural relics means looking for clues hidden in the soil, and slight traces to uncover secrets.
Transparent. So transparent.
Is there jade in it? Isn't it amber?
While cleaning the cultural relics, researchers must also do a good job in matching the missing parts of the fragments and establishing a database of cultural relics, so that they could lay a solid foundation for future restoration and assembly.
It absolutely is. It's just hard to put them together. It obviously is.
Can you turn it a bit?
It must be this end. Should we piece it together? From this end?
It doesn't have a seam on this end.
It definitely is. Look, perfect. See? Measure its length from there to here, because there's a section that's a joint. 1.13 meters. Okay, 1.13 meters. 31, 2.53 meters. 2.84 meters. 2.84 meters in total.
What's this? It's the bean root. It's so tall. I think many fairy tales originated from Sanxingdui.
It might seem boring to clean cultural relics, but in Sanxingdui, there were always unexpected surprises. In this round of excavation, a total of 17,724 artifacts were unearthed, including 2,290 relatively complete bronze artifacts. It is a huge workload to clean all the cultural relics.
We used to handle fossils with this. Fossils are much harder than this.
The Sichuan Institute of Cultural Relics and Archaeology invited cultural relics protection experts from the Shanghai Museum and Emperor Qin Huang's Mausoleum Site Museum to assist. They carefully and passionately touched the artifacts in their hands, as if they were touching the history. One by one, the cultural relics slowly awakened in the hands of these experts. When they opened their eyes, it was already over 3,000 years later. History is like porcelain, beautiful but fragile. It is buried in layers of soil, making truth seem like a dream. However, there are always people who are willing to embark on a journey against all odds.
So the core problem we are going to solve is quite simple. Where exactly was the wooden box in pit number 6 burned? Was it burned inside the pit or outside it?
Haichao has conducted the burning experiment twice. The first time, he placed the box in a pit and ignited it. After burning, the pit walls showed obvious scorch marks. The burned box was too complete, not matching with the actual situation. The second experiment was conducted outside the pit. However, the fire became uncontrollable and quickly collapsed the box. Still didn't match the condition of the box in pit number 6. Could it be that the box was ignited outside the pit, extinguished, and then buried inside the pit?
Let's see if we can control the fire. The best way is to completely burn it and cover it with soil to put the fire out when it is completely carbonized. Let's see if we can achieve a state that is both carbonized and maintains a certain strength.
The fire spread faster and larger than expected. In less than 20 minutes, the part that first caught fire turned into charcoal. In the blazing flames, Haichao seemed to walk towards the Sanxingdui people, only to pass by once again.
Let's try it. We have to do it to find the problem. Whether it was burned inside or outside the pit, there were issues with both. In the end, you need to try to solve as many of these problems as possible, and see which one most closely matches the conditions in the pit. We now find that it is difficult to achieve the archaeological scene we discovered, whether burning inside or outside the pit. All kinds of signs indicate that pit number 6 may be the closest to a true sacrificial pit.
After tidying up the experiment site, Haichao specifically asked the students to keep the piece of wood wrapped in wet soil. The cinnabar in the soil was like the source of a blood vessel. It was like time travel, allowing us to enter the world of the Sanxingdui people, and feel how that distant civilization is connected to us. We must never forget our past when we move forward. No matter how far we go or how glorious the future is, we cannot forget the steps taken to get here. The Sanxingdui people wove colorful dreams, with diligence and wisdom, bravely pursuing the blessings by the divine birds. For thousands of years, this legendary land, where crops grow on their own and birds sing naturally, remains busy. The bronze phoenix capital was unearthed from pit number 8 at Sanxingdui site. Its body and tail resemble both a rooster and a phoenix. The most incredible thing is that its surface was covered with black lines when it was unearthed, and there was a touch of red paint on its head. A number of bronze heads were unearthed from sacrificial pits number 3 to number 8. Experts found that the eyebrows and buns of these bronze heads were painted black. The appearances we see now are not their original looks. The bronze standing figure holding a long-shaped staff was unearthed from pit number 8. During cleaning, experts found that its entire body was covered with red paint. Meanwhile, researchers also found black eye patterns on ivory beads. These different colors from over 3,000 years ago are eye-opening.
There are both red and black paintings. We want to figure out which is on top and which is underneath.
What is the purpose of these different colors? What materials did the Sanxingdui people use to mix their desired colors? How can they preserve these colors from 3,000 years ago? How should these colored artifacts be cleaned? These questions were very challenging for the researchers.
Look at the area around the nipple pattern.
Around the nipple pattern? I don't see any colors.
There is. Look carefully. There must be color paintings around the nipple pattern.
The soil has a high sand content, right?
Does it contain shells or sand?
There are shells. Some are broken and some are complete.
The soil here is finer.
To be cautious, Liu Jiangwei, an expert on cultural relics protection from Emperor Qinshi Huang's mausoleum site museum, selected 3 areas with completely different attachments for experimental cleaning. The Sanxingdui sacrificial pits had many things, such as ivory, seashells, gold artifacts, and jade artifacts. The bronze artifacts, combined tightly with the soil during the rusting process, were particularly difficult to clean.
The difficulty lies in the color painting. Regarding the pollutants we talked about, whether they are ivory, seashells, or fallen debris, based on their adhesion to the colors. We need to determine the cleaning methods and techniques. This is very important for the bronze lei.
Through microscopic observation, Liu Jiangwei carefully searched for the detached attachments from the painted round lei. The soil might contain ivory fragments, shells, debris, bronze rust, and fallen pigments. It might also hold the answer he has been looking for. Is the black substance a pollutant? As the comprehensive cleaning of the artifacts progressed, it was crucial to establish a scientific process for cleaning the painted bronzes. However, for Liu Jiangwei, without figuring out the red and black substances on the painted bronze lei, the cleaning work couldn't continue. He decided to take the samples back to Shanxi.
These are some black samples that we collected from different artifacts.
We need to conduct a test analysis first.
The FTR lab, which received samples from Sanxingdui at the same time as the chemical lab, was analyzing the black substances attached to the surface of the ivory residue.
The result is really very good. It's not a coincidence or an attachment from the soil, not this kind of thing. It's some kind of organic matter. It should be amino acids, proteins, or something like that. I don't think it's lacquer.
If it's not lacquer, it should be tongue oil or blood of humans or animals. Human blood or animal blood. I've never seen such organic matter used on bronze artifacts. Both the bronze chariots and bronze waterfall have color paintings on them. But they don't have this substance. Could it be that human or animal blood was splashed into the sacrificial pit? That's one possibility. We can't determine what it is now.
Confirming the presence of organic matter on the surface of the ivory fragments excited Liu Jiangwei. Next, the study of the red substance on the surface of the bronze is equally important.
It's mainly mercuric sulfide. And the peak is perfect. The pigment particles are very clean. It is cinnabar.
Cinnabar is a sulfide mineral, mostly found in granular or blocky forms. The best cinnabar is bright red and glossy. Cinnabar has a very long history as a pigment. It was used on lacquer bowls unearthed from the Himudu site more than 6,000 years ago. During the Shang dynasty, painting red on oracle bones refers to grinding cinnabar into red powder and filling it in the incised characters on oracle bones. To make them stand out, the bright red of the cinnabar is also the Chinese red. That has been passed down to today. This trip to Xi'an helped confirm that the black substance was organic. But this did not resolve Liu Jiangwei's doubts. More questions followed. What kind of organic matter are these black substances? Is their presence a result of a sacrificial ceremony? Or a special technique? More importantly, how should they treat the special black substance in the upcoming cleaning?
Personally, I think we should leave room for maneuver, keep some options open and allow flexibility to adapt, or it will backfire.
Liu Jiangwei finally chose to retain all the black substances. To leave as much room as possible for future research. Perhaps in the near future, we will finally encounter the colorful Sanxingdui.
It's very hard.
To keep the remaining samples without damaging the artifact, Ma Yanru decided to first use adhesive tape to collect the red sample.
We got the red color.
The sample was successfully collected. The correction of the gold mask could continue. These exquisite artifacts, with their lost colors and damaged parts, are filled with the memories and dreams of the Sanxingdui people. Like a tranquil field or a rushing river, they are slices of time, as well as magnificent poems written by time.
I'm still very excited now. I was so lucky to appreciate cultural relics that have been buried underground in China for 3,000 to 4,000 years up close. When we took out Rodin's works from the wooden boxes in the container shipped from France, I could even feel the blend and collision of two cultures in the air. It places you in a very peculiar space, where you can feel them together and able to have a dialogue.
At the end of 2023, French-Chinese Wu Jing and Shanghai University turned a wild idea into reality. A dialogue between Sanxingdui and Auguste Rodin across space and time, a cultural event bridging 3,000 years, became the cultural focus of the international metropolis at the end of the year. Experts from various countries participating in the World Archaeology Forum also came to visit.
After extensive research and reflection by the curation team, we found that Sanxingdui and Rodin share commonalities in artistic innovation, creativity, imagination, and artistic inheritance. This is an expression of common human emotions.
In this dialogue across time and space, the strong-standing man in a skirt encountered Whistler, and the helmeted Minerva was mirrored in the eyes of the gold mask. What did they see in each other's eyes during this curious exchange? This dialogue, blending ancient and modern times and integrating the East and West, showcases the timeless essence of human civilization across time and space.
Sanxingdui's bronze heads generally have two types, the flat ones and the round ones. Sanxingdui artifacts also raise a question for us. Have we been viewing these artifacts too narrowly, or interpreting them based on a fixed mindset if we exhibit them together with Rodin's works? Will it offer a new perspective for understanding or appreciating these artifacts?
Every day, we bid farewell to the past and welcome the future. In the vast era of history, every sound of the bell is the starting point of a new journey for humanity. If life is just a dream, the Sanxingdui people chose to live passionately. They painted their dreams with different colors: crimson, bluish white, yellow, sky blue, and black. This is the Oriental romance lasting for thousands of years. The Sanxingdui people asked heaven and earth about the future of Sanxingdui, wondering if they would usher in their golden age.